Right now, the day's biggest news stories from a Vegas perspective. This is the Vegas Take with Sharp and Shapiro.
Oh yeah, what's up, Vegas? It is the Vegas Take. Sharp and Shapiro. On a Friday, I hope everybody's in a good mood, although for many in the casino industry, it could be your Monday. I don't know, but I really don't care. All I care about is it's my Friday because I'm selfish. That's right. Welcome. We got a lot to get to today. We're going to have a lot of fun. Talk about some serious issues, talk about some fun issues. You won't find another show in Vegas like this one, man. Politics, sports, entertainment, news from a Vegas perspective. And let me just run through quickly here what we're going to be getting to with some of our guests. So as you know, it's a pretty big issue here in Vegas. Las Vegas police have ended this federal immigration hold. I'll explain exactly what that means. And we're going to have Jose Garibay, who is a Border Patrol agent with the Yuma Sector Border, to talk a little bit about what this means for Las Vegas. What does it mean for the state of Nevada? What does this sort of thing mean for the country? He'll be joining us coming up here at the bottom of the hour. Also, we remember the sad story, the one-year anniversary of the Tree of Life massacre, the synagogue, where so many lost their lives. Adam Hertzman is the Jewish Federation of Greater Pittsburgh area. He is a member of that organization. He's going to be joining us. The rise in hate crimes, the rise in white supremacy. What does he feel about all this? We'll get to him coming up in hour number 2. And then in hour number 3, we had a chance to catch up with Jose Canseco. He has a new business in Las Vegas, and it is a car wash. And the grand opening of that car wash is tomorrow. So we will hear from Jose Canseco coming up in hour number 3. And I do want to mention this real quickly before we get to the big national stories of the day. Las Vegas police are saying that a woman intentionally drove into a hotel casino, the Cannery in North Las Vegas, after she was trespassed from the property yesterday. North Las Vegas Police Department. Oh, wait, hold on a second. Hold on. I have to stop the show again. Even though I'm right in the middle of a story in our first segment, time to stop the show because Show Killer has entered the show. J.D. Sharp, my co-host, has graced us with his presence in the middle of the first segment again. J.D., thank you so much for being here again. I think this is the 10th show in a row that you've been late right in the middle. But again, I think our viewers deserve to know, why are you late today? What happened today?
I would say it's probably the third show that I've been a little bit late.
John, hold on a second.
Probably the third show.
Hold on a second. Johnny, help me out here. In the last 20 shows, what do you think is JD's batting percentage of actually being here on time? Be honest now. I know that you work for both of us. Well, not really. You really don't. What would you say his percentages of actually getting here before I say the first word on the show? Or before 9 a.m.
Choose wisely, Johnny.
No, don't choose. No,
choose wisely.
Don't listen to his prep, because this is more important than, the stories that we're talking about on the show. Go ahead. What do you think his percentage of showing up on time?
I would say it's got to be. It's hard to keep track. I would say I agree with JD. The past 3 shows, maybe he's been.
So in the past 20 shows, how many? What do you think his percentages of showing up on time?
Let's give it 40%.
Yeah, that's fair. That's
yeah.
fair. That's fair. That's a really good percentage. It's really good.
I would say it's actually 14 out of 20.
So let me ask you a question.
Probably a solid.
Your daughter,
70%.
Your daughter's what? 1 year old.
She actually she turns 2 on December 19th,
and she's very cute. You have a very cute daughter.
I appreciate that. Thank you very much,
so when she enters school, and if she shows up 40% of the time late, how are you going to handle that as a father?
What, like 5 minutes late or an hour late?
If she doesn't prepare, doesn't do her homework, doesn't do any of her classwork, and shows up late to school, I'm just curious, as a father, how are you going to handle that?
Wait, where did the prepare stuff come from?
All right, well, what are we talking about?
Now you're adding on to it to make it sound worse than it actually is.
Well, you tell me, what are we talking about today?
Well, again, that's on me, Brian. if she's late, it's going to be on me. It's not going to be her, since she's 2 years old and she's not going to drive until she's hopefully 16.
Well, you tell me, what are we talking about on the show today? I know what we're talking about.
And in all fairness, Brian, you don't have to stop the show when I enter.
It is very
It
distracting.
is not required. No, you just like to make a big deal out of it.
No, I'm not
it's
making
not that big of a deal.
No, I'm not
But
making a big deal.
I go along with it, and I will every single day.
Okay.
So
That's very nice of you.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
So
very cordial
so
of you.
continue the
It's very
story.
nice of you. It's very nice of you. Thank you.
Continue this sermon.
You didn't
Brian.
answer my question, though. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. Well, you're batting 40%. That's not too bad.
70%.
No.
In 20 days.
What do you mean 70%?
I think I'm 14 out of 20. Collectively, since the show has started, which it started on May 12th,
All right, nope. All right.
2018,
All right.
I'm saying I'm probably close to 91%.
All right, nobody cares. Let's move on now. I was talking about the show in North Las Vegas, or the show. You see how you distract me? I'm right in the middle of telling a story. You walk right into the studio in the middle of the segment. Can you understand how that could be a little bit distracting?
I actually do understand
Okay,
that, yeah.
thank you. I appreciate
Believe it or not, I do.
Thank you.
I do feel
Thank you.
that a little
Okay,
bit.
I appreciate that. We've now wasted 8 minutes of the show. That's all right. All right, so anyway, Cannery, North Las Vegas. A woman in an RV who had just been trespassed the night before, this morning, last night, drove her RV through the front doors of the casino. Now, I'm trying not to laugh at this because this is a serious thing. A custodian was injured. Luckily, it's non-life-threatening injuries, and we hope that this person is going to be okay. There's nothing funny about that. A 50-year-old woman decided to drive her RV through the cannery, through the front doors of the cannery. Maybe she was hungry. Maybe she wanted a buffet and she wanted to, I don't know. Maybe, listen, this was not a medical episode. This was intentional, police are saying. So we're going to continue to monitor this story. The pictures are unbelievable. I've seen the pictures of this. It is absolutely nuts. I've never seen anything like it before. It's absolutely crazy. But anyway, we'll continue to monitor this story. But I want to talk about what is not only a big national story, but a big local story here in Las Vegas. And we're going to start with this. So Metro Police now will no longer be detaining immigrants on the federal immigration hold. So what does that mean? This is according to a news release. The decision comes following a California court ruling that ICE is enjoined from issuing detainers to state and local law enforcement agencies. Let's speak about this in layman's terms. The decision has been expanded upon a similar decision earlier this year. What exactly does it mean? Well, Clark County Sheriff Joseph Lombardo directed corrections officers to stop placing immigration holds on undocumented immigrants with low-level traffic bench warrants. Now, that's the department's partnership with ICE has been suspended. Metro will only notify ICE in cases of violent crimes. The ACLU of Nevada sent a letter to Metro on October 11th demanding that it stop in partnership with ICE. And they're saying that they're very happy to see and reference in Metro's statement earlier this week. The woman who's making this statement is Sherry Royster. She is the legal director for the American Civil Liberties Union. She said nobody should be worried about forgetting paperwork on their way out the house and being detained. It's not that the hardened criminals, they're not being detained. It was regular people who were pulled over for busted taillights or blinkers. Sheriff Lombardo also said that he's optimistic that this change will not hinder the police department's ability to fight violent crime. And he also said while the ruling can be considered a setback, he also said he's determined that through cooperation with federal partners, the goal of removing the worst of the worst could still be accomplished. And certainly that is the most important thing that we need to remember. Now, if you listen to certain show hosts, right-wing radio, they will tell you in these types of situations, this is life or death and this is awful. If you're illegal and you break the law, you should go to jail. You should be deported. Let me be very clear on how I feel about this issue. And by the way, coming up here in just a few minutes, we will be speaking with a Border Patrol agent about this issue. But if you commit any sort of felony, you should be deported. Let me be very clear on that. If you're an illegal and you commit a felony, you are done. One strike rule. You're out. But if you are jaywalking and you've been living in, let's just say, this country, Las Vegas, for 20 years, 10 years.
Legally or illegally?
Illegally. And you have a family here, and you don't have a police record, and I don't know, let's just say you're jaywalking. No, I do not believe that you should be detained and be deported. I have never felt that way. And make no mistake about it, in this new law, many people on the right are going absolutely nuts. I don't believe that if you're an illegal, you should be allowed to have a driver's license. I don't believe if you're an illegal, you should be allowed to have a credit card. I don't believe if you're an illegal, you should be allowed to get welfare or food stamps. Okay. I've never believed that. However, in this situation, if you commit a violent crime or a felony, this law does not affect that sort of deal. This has to do with minor traffic stops, maybe a warrant for not paying a ticket. And if that individual has especially in this case, when that individual has a family, a wife, kids, illegal or not. In a perfect world, I wish everybody would come to this country legally. Absolutely. But with that being said, I am not personally comfortable with somebody being detained and deported with a traffic stop, maybe speeding, going 5 or 10 miles over the speed limit, maybe jaywalking. I am not comfortable with that individual being deported. Not at all. And I actually support this. Now, again, I don't support illegals having driver's licenses or credit cards. And if there is any sort of police record or felony, if you pull somebody over for a regular traffic stop and you find out that not only is this person illegal, but there's a warrant for a very serious, maybe it's a DUI, any sort of felony, absolutely deport them. Get them the hell out of here. I don't want people like that in this country. Legal or not, I don't want people like that in this country. But if you listen to some people on the right, they'll make this out to believe that if somebody stabs somebody and they're illegal, can't be detained. That's not true. That's not factually accurate. This is very similar to what this law, what Sheriff Lombardo said earlier in the year, that they're not going to place immigration holds on undocumented immigrants with low-level traffic bench warrants. We all know what that means. It means speeding, not paying a ticket. Maybe you went through a stop sign. You didn't hurt anybody. Maybe you were jaywalking. Maybe your tag on your plate expired. Things that regular people do on a regular basis. These are not serious crimes. I'm concerned about the illegals that are committing these serious crimes, not because you have a tail light out or something. Now, if you personally believe out there that if an illegal that has a family, a wife and kids, that has never broken the law before, gets cited for jaywalking, for example, and you're comfortable with that individual leaving his family behind, his or her family behind, and being detained and then being deported, then I have a serious problem with that opinion. A serious problem. And I do believe that there are a lot of people out there that feel that way. And I also believe that the president's rhetoric, Mexicans crossing the border, they're rapists, they're bad people, and I suppose some of them are good people, which is utterly ridiculous, by the way, because the majority of illegals that enter this country, yes, they're breaking the law, but that doesn't necessarily mean that they're violent criminals. And sadly, many people that follow the president and follow every word he says as to be true believe that. And I think that is very, very dangerous. We'll open up the phone lines at 257-5396. Again, the number to call if you want to be a part of this conversation here, 702-257-5396. We have Jose Garbe, who is a Border Patrol agent with the Yuma Sector Border, who's going to be joining us here in just a few minutes. What do you think about this new law? Are you for it? Are you against it? Las Vegas police ending this federal immigration hold. So if you do commit a minor, maybe it's a traffic incident, something that is minor, not a felony, that now Las Vegas Metro Police cannot put a hold on you and they cannot deport you. How do you feel about that? Again, the number 257-5396. JD, what do you think about this?
Well, so what will be the protocol then? Do they? Because at this point, you're an illegal immigrant, obviously. The country, the government may or may not be aware that you're in the country or not. Probably they're not. And once they become aware of that, do they put you through a proper citizenship process? Do they help you do a process to get your green card? Or what do you think should happen, Brian?
In what instance? In what type of law that was broken? When
you're caught jaywalking and you're an illegal. And the government doesn't know you're in the country.
Well, what this new law put forward says that they cannot do that. They can't detain you. So that's just the way that this new law stands right now. If it is a serious crime, let's just say it's a DUI, or it's a robbery, or it's a whatever.
I understand.
Yeah,
but you don't think that a process detain can be construed a bunch of different ways. I'm saying you don't think there's a process that should start, that the government helps, or the state that the illegal immigrant is caught in helps the immigrant get a path to citizenship? You don't think that would help things?
Absolutely. I absolutely think that would help things, and that's what Democrats are trying to pass right now.
And I actually, and I'm very pro-Trump, but I support that. I think that makes sense.
If they're not violent, bad people.
Obviously,
right.
Yeah.
And I think the majority of these illegals are not bad people, so I agree. I wish that Democrats and Republicans would both come together.
Now, what if they're caught jaywalking twice? What if they have three or
Not
four?
a violent crime.
What if they have 3 or 4 different misdemeanors in a month?
Not a violent crime.
There's a lot of different. What if?
Not talking about misdemeanors. No, I don't agree with that.
I'm just saying.
You can jaywalk 10 times.
If they get caught with several several different things, what would happen at that point?
Well,
obviously, a felony is a felony.
Yeah, that's not a felony.
I understand. It's not a felony.
And the law is very clear. If it's not a serious crime, they cannot be detained and be deported. No. If somebody has a family here in Las Vegas and they're caught jaywalking 100 times, I don't think they should be deported. That's just my opinion. Let's go to the phones. We've got a lot of people calling in at 257-5396. Let's go to Lewis. Lewis, you are first on the Vegas Take. What do you think about this?
What's up, Lewis?
Okay, man. We came here illegally from Mexico, man, long time ago. And the problem I have with anything is that when you keep saying they don't break the law, they did break the law.
Didn't say that.
By entering illegally.
I didn't say they didn't break the law. Clearly, when you come into the country illegally, it is breaking the law. I never said they didn't break the law.
Well, how the law should read would be if you are if you are illegal and you get caught doing something, unless it's really bad, they should get rid of you. But if it's not really bad, they should put you on the books and say, all right, look, we're going to have you come up in front of a judge and then decide, if you was a pathway to citizenship. So they're kind of like living in the shadows. But the problem is when they try to do stuff like that, these people all they never try to get legal. And
Lewis, you understand. I understand, Lewis, but you understand at least I hope you understand my point. If there is a man or a woman in this country illegally, they've never broken the law before, never a serious crime, they have a family here, they lived here for 15, 20 years, okay, and they get caught jaywalking or their tail light is out, I am not comfortable with these people being detained and then shipped out of the country.
Well,
that's not what he's saying.
Okay, maybe not shipped out of the country, but when you do something wrong and you're American, they detain you, right?
Yeah, but no, that's not true. No, that's not. No. We're not. You're incorrect. If I'm caught jaywalking, or I have a tail light out, or I'm going 6 miles over the speed limit,
get a ticket.
I get a ticket. I am not detained. But this?
So then, how do you give an illegal immigrant a ticket, Brian?
How can you give a legal immigrant a ticket?
Very
man?
simply.
That's the problem.
Very simply. You find out where they live. You find out where their address is. You find out for identification. And if they don't pay the ticket, then it goes into warrant, just like you or I.
Okay. What about for a tap?
What happens a lot of the time, and they do not care about that. I know several illegals.
Okay, well, that's a very general statement. You're saying because you know several illegals, you're telling me that no illegals pay their traffic tickets. I disagree.
Because most don't have driver's license, man.
Well, you're right. Most of them don't have driver's licenses. And if they don't have a driver's license and they are driving a car, I am not for that. By the way, I am not for illegals getting driver's licenses. I am not for illegals getting credit cards. I've been very clear on that issue. I appreciate the call, Lewis. Thank you very much. 257-5396 is the number to call. Go ahead, JD. You had something to add before we get to
let's say 30 illegals get caught jaywalking. None of these illegals pay taxes. That's 30 citizens of the United States who actually aren't citizens of the United States, who are inhabiting the United States, who aren't paying taxes. Why would you not want now, whether detained or not? Why would you not want them to automatically be required to start a pathway to citizenship?
I didn't say I didn't. Where did I say I didn't? I never said that. I never said I didn't want a pathway to citizenship.
You said you didn't want them to be detained.
I said I didn't want them to be deported.
No, you said detained and deported.
Well, that's part of this whole thing.
Well, I think being detained should be a requirement to see who they are, where they live.
They do that.
And then give them a chance to start a pathway to citizenship.
You don't have to be detained in order for a police officer to find out who you are in a police record. So I disagree with that. You don't have to be detained to get someone's record.
If you have no driver's license, how are they supposed to know where you live?
Most of these people do have driver's licenses. And if they don't have driver's licenses, the police will hold them, at least, maybe not detain them for a long period of time, but they'll try to find out who this person is. That's just basic protocol. 257-5396. Let's go to Michelle. Michelle, you're next. What's on your mind?
What's up, Michelle?
Well, hello, Brian and company. What is your definition of detained? That's keeping me for X amount of time while you figure out what's going on.
It's questioning.
Correct? Correct?
Yes, that is correct. But what we're talking about...
Wait a minute.
Okay, I was just answering your question.
Yeah, you said correct. So, and I'm not being rude to you, but I got very little time to be on the air with you and chit chat. Well, and I get your point totally. I'm going to start off with that. I get your point totally. But my question to you is, it sounds like you're giving a pass to these people? Because here's my first question. When you trespass into a country, is that a felony or a misdemeanor?
Obviously, it's a felony. That's obvious.
Okay.
But
okay.
Yeah,
So now let's fast forward. So now I'll pretend I'm an illegal and my light is out, or I don't have the right tag on my car, whatever.
Yes.
And so that's a misdemeanor. But haven't I already created a felony?
Absolutely, 100%.
Okay.
But where do we disagree? I'm trying to figure out what do you think should happen to somebody that has a. Let me ask you a question. What do you think should happen to a man or a woman who's in this country illegally, that's been here for over 10 years, does not have a police record, is married, perhaps has kids, and is caught jaywalking? Do you think they should be deported and leave their family behind?
No. But,
okay, so we agree.
Answer a question. Wait a minute. You're right. I hate to answer a question with a question, but my question back to you would be, if you've been here for 20 years, hell, even 5 years, why haven't you taken the steps to be here lawfully?
All right, that's a good question. Let me answer that question, Michelle, and I do think that is a fair question. Every situation is different. Every person is in a different circumstance. It could be financial. And it just could be that they're very irresponsible, or they're afraid that if they do try to take the right steps, they will be deported. I agree with you. If you've been in this country for a while, I wish they could hire an immigration attorney, and I wish they could take the proper steps to become legal. I'm with you, Michelle. Sadly, we don't live in a world like that, and sadly, not everyone is taking those right steps. I agree. 257-5396. Let's go to Lauren. Lauren, you're next on the Vegas Take. I got about a minute for you. Go ahead, Lauren.
What's up, Lauren?
Okay. Over the years, I've had 3 accidents involving illegals, no insurance. At one point, I just bought a brand new car. I was hit head on at the lake. The guy had no insurance. He was just cited with a ticket and let go.
I don't agree with that. Let me be very clear, Lauren. I am on your side. If you cause an accident and you're an illegal and you don't have a driver's license, to me, that is a very serious crime. That you should not be cited for something like that. To me, if you cause a car accident and you're an illegal and you don't have a driver's license, you should go to jail or be deported. I don't have a problem with that, Lauren. What I have a problem with are the people that are not committing serious crimes, like we talked about, like a taillight or something. Listen, if somebody illegal hits me and they don't have insurance, I am going to be pissed off, Lauren. And I'm sorry that happened to you. I am on your side. If you don't have a driver's license and you commit a crash, I'm on your side, Lauren. I have no problem with that person or persons being deported. We got to take a quick break. We'll be back right after this with his name is Jose Garibay, a Border Patrol agent with the Yuma Sector Border. We'll take more on your phone calls on the other side at 257-5396. Be back right after this.